Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Mokwana and I'm so excited to finally be back on this platform. It's been more than a year since I posted any content whatsoever, and I know that I just went AWOL and I have a lot of subscribers, and maybe some of you were wondering what is happening with this person. Where is this person? Where is the content? And yeah, life has been so busy, and unfortunately, I just got caught up in all of the chaos that comes with life. But I'm hoping that this time I'm back and back for real. I really missed content creation, and I really do enjoy it. I just think sometimes it's a lot of work. So yeah, let's see if I do get time this year. I will try to post once a week. Hopefully that's possible. If not, just know that I'm trying. Yeah, I'm just in a different season, and life requires a different version of me. So yeah, I think the best way to actually start this comeback is by giving you a life update. And they are just three things that I really like to update you on. So the first one is definitely my channel name has changed. I was Princess underscore Ngox on all my social media platforms. And I think over time I changed from that to Princess Mokwana, which is actually my name. And that has also changed now to Soul and Mind Space, or it could be vice versa, Mind and Soul Space. I'm not sure, I'm not used to the name yet. So, on all my social media platforms, so Instagram and TikTok, so those are my social media platforms. I go by that name now, and I really like to have your following and your engagement as well. I think you'd really love the type of content that I do post there. It's mainly psychology content, a little bit of faith, and I'm just trying to find the balance between the two, hence the soul and the mind space. Yeah, so I'm so excited. And the reason I changed my um, page name is because I think there's been a lot of changes in my life, both personally and professionally. And I really wanted to separate the two. I think we all deserve some sort of a privacy where our lives are concerned. So to have a platform that is only accessed by family and friends, maybe a few acquaintances. And so my Instagram channel or page has unfortunately become private. So if you really want to follow my content, you would have to follow my other social media platforms. I will also be bringing back my LinkedIn account because currently I think it's hibernated. Um, so, yeah, I think that's the first update, that I have a public social media platforms now, with some that have become private. And I've also removed some of the videos from the public spaces, including here on YouTube. So, for those who have been here, you would also notice that some of the videos have been removed, and it's because, like I said, I really just wanted to remove my personal life out of the public space. Yeah, and I think just creeping this page specifically for psych content, faith content, and other things outside of my personal life. And I hope for that you guys would understand and still follow regardless. Yeah, and then the second life update is that your girl has finally finished a PhD. I think for those who've been here, my day ones, you'd know that I was pursuing my PhD since 2022 October, and I finished my PhD in 2025 December. Unfortunately, by the time I got my results finalized and everything else, the graduation list had already been finalized. So that means I could only graduate in the next cycle, which is the upcoming one in July. So yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully you would get to see um, parts of that, or at least get access to the graduation content. I'm hoping to post it either on TikTok or on YouTube. It will just depend on how much content and the quality of that content. Yeah, so your girl has a title now. I am now Dr. Ngokwana. I have worked really, really hard on this, and I think my perseverance, my grit, my tenacity, my resilience, I think that strength to never give up despite the challenges is what has gotten me here. And I must admit, my journey was not easy. I think my day ones, they are aware of how long and how difficult it was for me to get to where I am. And for that, I'm so proud of myself. I deserve this. No coincidence, really, pure hard work and a lot of pushing, a lot of keeping on, despite what life throws at me. So, yeah, I'm so excited, and hopefully, you guys get to share that excitement with me on all my social media platforms when the time does come. I finished this PhD with 4 publications. It was a PhD by publications, and yeah, my name is now on the Google. I made history. I broke generational limitations or barriers. I'm the first one in my family to do this, to get a PhD. Um, to even get a university qualification. My ancestors are proud. I'm their wildest dream. And it's so good to be able to hear this coming from myself, because I think for the longest time, I couldn't celebrate myself this loud. It always felt like something is wrong when I do that. Because growing up in their villages taught me that um, humility is the core value or the ideal, but sometimes that comes at a cost. And I think for me, that cost was not being able to celebrate who I am because of the fear that I will be perceived as somebody who thinks highly of themselves. But this time, I really worked hard for this. The second life update is equally exciting. So, again, for those who've been here, you know how much I spend so much time posting content about masters in clinical psychology, how to get in, even though I never got in myself. But that changes today because I have finally gotten into the program, and I'm currently an intern clinical psychologist at Vescopies, and I am so grateful for the love, for the support. Yeah, I think I'll be able to make a video in one of the weeks to just talk to that selection week process, because I think it's still very important to share the information about the selection week processes in South Africa. Unfortunately, because I studied at NWU, we were not really encouraged to talk about the content of the selection week itself. But I think I can make a video in such a way that it gives you ideas about what that would look like for those who are looking to get into NWU, Potchefstroom specific. Yeah, so we did it, fam. And this journey has just been life changing. And I see why now the numbers are too low, why there has to be a selection weekend. Hopefully, I'll talk to you guys about it, because I think this journey has been life changing, life transforming in so many ways for me. And I think part of the reason why I also didn't want to post about it is because I really wanted to have that process for myself, to not be preoccupied with getting in and ultimately missing the point of the M1. So, yeah, I think that's something that I also wanted to share with you. And my words of encouragement for those who are still pursuing this master's is never give up. The other thing I would say is, if there is a voice or if there's a seed in your heart that is planted and that is whispering that you belong in this profession, I think listen to it, pursue it, But something that's also very important is if it gets overwhelming, it's tiring, it's taking your energy, pause if you must, and redirect. I think my journey is one that proves that getting into this profession, as unfortunate as it is not linear, and it's not going to be the same for everybody. And that is the point, you know. And I think a lot of us don't get it. Um, that for others, it will be once off and they make it into the program. For others, it's going to be 1 year, and others 2 years, others 4 years. Mine was 3 years waiting to get into the program. I actually got into this program at my third attempt, and every experience, every part of um, my journey contributed to the type of a clinical psychologist that I'll be in the future and that I am now. Um, because I think something that I also didn't share, or maybe people don't know about me, is that I actually have a degree, two honors degrees, one in criminology and criminal justice, one in psychology, master's in research psychology, and I qualified as a research psychologist. I wrote my board exams in 2023. And now this is my second master's, and I did my PhD before I did my second master's. And this shows to you that if you don't give up and you sometimes allow redirection to reroute you to other paths, you're not losing out on anything. And sometimes it may feel like that, but I wouldn't want my journey otherwise. And this is to somebody to say, sometimes explore other options. For me, that was research psychology, and I'm glad I did. Um, for others, it might be psychometry. For others, it might be PGCE. For others, it might even be something unrelated. And I think also just follow that hunch, especially if you've been trying and you just feel like this is not working out. I promise you, you are not missing. You are not behind. You are not a failure. You are not less competent. I think we have to be honest about the fact that this profession takes really small numbers, um, and there's just a huge pool. And that does not mean those who get in before you are any better than you. I think they are just more suited for that university, for that pool, for that year. And sometimes, to be honest, with my experience now, it's just pure luck. And sometimes it's just somebody liking you in the selection panel, and not about, or not more about your qualities as a psychologist. And I just want to encourage you to take heart and be kind to yourself. And I know it's very frustrating. I've been through that process myself. But I'm also just glad I followed through the reroute, because through that I learned research. I got exposed to research administration, research management, teaching in institutions of higher learning, working in NGOs, and establishing or an academic name for myself. It just changed the trajectory of my entire career completely. And if you don't know who to talk to, come to my social media platforms and I will respond. I think anybody who's had any experience with me, they would tell you that I do respond to DMs. I might not respond as quick as you'd want me to, but I'll definitely be there to hold your hand. Firstly, my channel will be taking a different direction in a sense that some days you will see lectures. So there are formulations or conceptualizations that I'm learning for myself. Sometimes interesting psychological concepts that I'm just learning myself. So I'm putting them on the public platforms so that I can always refer. And for those who are interested in such concepts, you can definitely watch. If not, just forward them to your friends. I will also be talking about some concepts that I've learned in the master's psychology class. I might do some research content as well. I think, yeah, when you think of me, you must think everything combined: clinical work, research work, academics. I think right now my career just looks exactly like that. And in this season, I'm learning to just embody all of that. And one day, I'm hoping that everything will align. Um, so I'm excited for this new direction that I'm taking. And if you have any suggestion that you'd like to give or anything that you'd like me to speak about, just do let me know in the comment section. And if it's something that is within my capacity, I'll be glad to do it. Otherwise, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you next time.